It's more confusing than Inception, harder than an erection. It's cooler than Andre 3000. Oh, let's get ready for Sweet Connection.
Hello and welcome to Sweet Connection. I'm your host, Kat. With me today, via Zoom, Jason Lewis.
Hello.
How you doing, Jason?
I'm really pleased that I'm not in presence of your bad breath.
I have never had bad breath. Is that a thing that you're just telling me now because we're over Zoom?
Just your obscene body odour.
That's fair enough. But
I just shit your pants. Great to be in the comfort of my own home.
That's definitely true.
Yeah.
I think maybe I shouldn't have said that we're doing it over Zoom because that sort of breaks the illusion, I think.
Yeah, people think we've split up.
I don't know. Well,
I could do better.
So what have you been up to? Because we haven't done a show in about a month. So
no, it's been a while, hasn't it?
I'm sure lots of stuff has happened. And, we'll certainly get to some of the stuff that's happened. But just on a personal note, what's happened for you?
Are we talking about the pictures I sent you? Or the video I sent you?
Oh, Jason, I've got that written down. Don't you worry, son, okay? I'm thinking, let's talk about some stuff before we get to that.
Yeah. What else have I been up to? Not a lot, really. It's lockdown. So,
for a month. You haven't done nothing for a month.
I haven't played football. I've worked. We don't really talk about work. I shaved my hair off and shaved my beard off. I had a...
Oh, yeah, actually, I didn't even notice that you're...
It's growing
quite
back
clean shaven.
It's growing back quite a fair bit. But about 2 weeks ago, I had a lockdown breakdown and shaved all my hair off and shaved my beard off, and I look like an egg. So that's why I probably didn't do the Zoom call a couple of weeks ago, because
Welcome to my world.
I look like you. Yeah, we could have been Phil and Grant.
Who's Phil and who's Grant?
They're two characters off EastEnders. You must know that.
No. I know who Phil and Grant is. I'm saying out of us, who would be Grant? Because Grant is the actual hard man and the cool man. Phil is just a wheezing bag of middle-aged...
Well, Phil is a recovering alcoholic, so that's you down to a T. So you're the alcoholic and I'm Grant.
I wouldn't say that's the case. Yeah.
How many pints of Stella have you had today?
0, actually.
How many
Although I have had quite a few Carlsbergs.
There we go.
Hey, it's fine. It's a weekend.
Is it? It's Monday today.
No. Yeah, it's Sunday, Saturday, Monday, whatever. Fuck it.
They're all the same.
So really, that's your contribution to the start of the show. You've done nothing over 4 weeks, except the thing that we'll get into.
Yeah. Well, what have you done? What crazy adventures have you been up to? I have a child. I don't have time to go lobster potting or craft making or pot making, whatever you do.
Speaking of lobster potting, Jason,
here we go.
I've got some bad news, right?
Oh, no.
Because obviously this is my second lobster pot. As we know, it's been well documented that this is my second lobster pot, because the first lobster pot, rather than tying it down, I just put some little weights in it, thinking that would work. And then it immediately got swept away to sea. And then beached again, apparently, because you said that you saw a post on Facebook saying that there was a random lobster pot.
Yeah, no one claimed it, so it's got to be yours, I reckon.
Probably mine. All right. And then I got my second lobster pot, and I found a spot down the beach where I could tie it to like one of the sea defences with rope.
You caught a crab,
and it was fine.
And it was your pet for a few days.
I caught a crab and I caught a fish, which I then cut up.
Oh, yeah.
But, whatever.
You murdered a fish, but then you couldn't kill a crab, so you made it your pet.
That's a bit hypocritical, isn't it? That I could slice a fish in half with a penknife while it was still living, but I couldn't take myself to kill a crab. No, so I got into a little rhythm of going down the beach, tying my crab pot to this sea defence bit, and I would leave it for a couple of days and then come back. And that worked well for a good few attempts, right? And then I went down the beach. This is probably about 3 weeks ago. And both the lobster pot and the rope was gone.
Oh, no.
Now, I'm pretty sure last time it was because it was washed away by the ocean, as it would be.
Yeah.
But this pot, as it's been tied very tightly to the sea defence, I think someone's come down and stolen it. Because there is no way that the ocean is going to undo the knot that I had done this.
Maybe you had the really big lobster in it. Someone saw and thought, I'm having that. And they actually killed it like what you would do.
It was such a big lobster that it physically untied the rope with its claws.
Yeah.
Because it's that big and that intelligent.
It punched its way out of the pot.
Yeah. So I was just like, well, so then the thought crossed my mind, seeing as this was my second lobster pot, do I triple down and get a third lobster pot, or do I call it a day? And you know what? I'm calling this a day.
I give it a month before you buy another one. Now all the snow's out of the way, you're buying another one.
I think I'm done. Honestly, I think I'm done.
Well,
I'm
last
not
time
spending...
you said that, and you said you hated seafood, and then you tried it again.
I'm not spending more money on a pot because, all right, the rope that I used was just like a normal sort of nylon rope. However, I could get like a chain and a padlock and like padlock it to the thing. However,
key code.
Yeah, the thing with that is that because the pot that I use is like a mesh pot, all you would have to do is like get some small nail scissors and cut a bit of the mesh that the chain is attached to. Yeah. So the only other thing that I could do is buy a very expensive lobster pot for like 70 quid to then attach that to, and I don't think I'm going to be doing that.
You will, honestly. Next time we talk, you'd have two of them. You just spent 140 quid and you'd be done. And you'd catch a couple of lobsters, and then you'd be going to say, I'm going to eat them. And then next time I come round, when lockdown 7 is over, there'll be 2 6-foot lobsters in your garden. Just
in 2025.
Yeah, just eating anything that goes near it. That's what's going to happen. And you're going to call them Bill and Ben.
No.
I don't know why you named one after yourself, but you did anyway. Ben Jr.
I'm fairly confident this chapter in my life, very short chapter, is over. However, I was talking to Laura,
does she not
and
care?
Also talking to my friend about what they think the next thing I'm going to be doing is.
Oh.
And I've narrowed it down to 2 things. One of them I think you may have mentioned before.
Metal detector.
And that was to metal detector.
Yeah, that's you.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's you nailed. That is you to a T.
But, which is fine. However, in the same sense that doing lobster potting, you have to go out in public, and I find that a little bit embarrassing. I wouldn't necessarily want to be a proper fucking anorak weirdo, where I've got
that's when you
where I've got a metal detector and an anorak and my hood up, and I'm trying to find Roman coins or whatever. I think that the next thing will be a telescope.
Oh,
for like stargazing.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
It's either now, those two, or you're going to become a serial killer.
Yeah, So it's a 2 in 3 chance that I won't be killing anyone, so that's pretty good odds. But I mean, but seeing as we live in a town which has got a massive shipping port, we have got quite a lot of light pollution, and that's the only thing that's putting me down, because I wouldn't want to spend money. And also, I've already looked at what I could buy. Because of obviously I have, and I was thinking I don't want to spend that amount of money.
You'd be spending thousands on a decent.
No, not thousands. No. I could have got one for 60, 70 quid, and I nearly did on the fucking day. But I was like, I don't want to do that.
You can get a good metal detector for 60, 70 quid, or
55 quid,
or you can get yourself some rope, some gloves, and some acid to burn the bodies. And a shovel.
£32.99.
Yeah, so I'm going to be seeing you in the newspaper some way or another, whether it's good or bad, in the next 6 months. Local podcaster goes on killing spree as murders people with his metal detector. That's how I see this going to go.
There are 3 possible reasons that you'd see me in the news. Number 1, that I use my metal detector and I find like an old Roman coin that sells for like £2,000. Number 2, I use my new telescope and I find a planet that had not been seen before.
Oh yeah,
or option 3,
telescope. Yeah. All right.
Or option 3, I murder a family of 4. So, they're the only reasons that you could possibly see me on the news for. Yeah, we'll see about that. Anyway, going back to some things you sent me since we last been on the show. What did that video you sent me about those homoerotic cards?
Well,
Now that requires a proper explanation. You can't just skimp on the details here. I've set you up. Explain it from the start so that our listeners have an inkling of what you were on about.
So,
please.
In my job, it entails me going into people's properties and selling them. And I was at this one house one day. It's an empty property. They don't live there anymore. I think it was an elderly person's, and unfortunately they passed away. But I was trying on the hunt to find some garage keys, some garage door keys. So I was looking through all the drawers. Lo and behold, I opened one drawer and I stumbled across a deck of cards. I had a quick glance, and whilst the viewers were in another room, and it turns out that they were naked men playing cards. They were adult playing cards. Each playing card had a picture of a man with his cock out.
Yes. And you sent me a video of that.
I sent that
and you
video.
Went through all of the cards.
So I didn't want my viewer to find them. I didn't want the person looking around the house to spot them. So what I'd done is I popped them in my pocket and carried on with the rest of the appointment. And then afterwards I thought, imagine if I tried to pull something out of my pocket and those cards fell out. And then they would just assume that I carried around a deck of homosexual playing cards. So
your clients were just like, "Oh, Jason, have you got a business card?" I thought, "Sure, no problem at all."
And I give them the ace of spades with a massive cock out.
If it's the ace of spades, it'll be a big black cock, wouldn't it? Because it would have to be.
One of
it wasn't.
I remember looking.
That's a wasted opportunity.
Yeah, one of them had a tiny cock. I was so shocked by that. I thought I could get on these deck of cards instead. But anyway, moving on. I phoned someone. I was texting my boss. And I sent him pictures. He was like, "What is this?" I was like, "Oh, I found your deck of cards that you lost." And he was like, "What do you mean?" I said, "You told me weeks ago that you lost a deck of cards. I found them. They're in this place." And then I sent you that video. And then I just carried around a deck of gay playing cards in my pocket for about an hour, and then waited for them to leave so I could then send pictures of them to everyone I knew.
So where are they now? Do you still have them? Or?
No, I popped them back in the drawer just in case. They wanted them back. Yeah, the family might be looking for them.
I wouldn't say that deck of cards would be like a treasured heirloom. I think that would be quite...
Why is it still there then?
I don't know, because they forgot about it,
I just thought it was brilliant.
Who are the people that lived in there beforehand? Was it a gay couple or a family, man and woman? Or
I thought it was an elderly lady.
Kinky.
5 minutes sake, let's say her name was Penelope. And Penelope had a deck of playing cards with men with their winkies out. Is what it is, really. Did you want them?
Not particularly, but...
You like your gay erotica.
Having said that, it is always the older people who tend to have the really weird, kinky sexual stuff, isn't it?
I wouldn't know. Whatever you get up to on the weekend, mate.
No.
No, I don't get invited.
It's an established fact is that it's the older generation who have all the weird sex stuff, the sex swings or erotica.
I guess after 60 years, the normal way gets a bit boring, doesn't it? So.
Exactly. So you have to start getting creative. You have to start introducing like a card game to the bedroom, with men with their willies out.
Imagine that as a game of Snap. Bloody hell. That would hurt.
It's like 7 inches, 8 inches, 8 inches, snap. Done. Just having a look at what else I've done over the past few weeks. You know what? Just a strange story, and it really sums up the town that we live in. Is that I was going for a drive, and I was just about to turn a corner, and I saw a man on a push bike, and he was carrying like a long shaft of wood, like probably about 10, 12 feet long, and he was carrying it in a way like he was jousting with a horse. And I just thought, this is the most dangerous way to be carrying literally a long lance of fucking wood.
Well, there's someone on the other side.
No, I did not look behind me, but there's a very good chance that there'd be a second person with the same thing, just gonna try and joust them. And then on that same fucking journey, right, when I got close to my house, I got to like a little mini roundabout, and I went to turn left, and something caught my eye, and I looked, and I saw a bloke on a penny farthing. Like those old-fashioned Victorian big front wheel, like massive, like 6 foot front wheel.
Yeah.
I'm one of those fuckers, and I was just like, okay, that's good.
That's mental. I don't know they still existed.
Well, that's the thing.
Next craze. That's going to be your next craze.
I could get a penny farthing, couldn't I?
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Imagine that on our pub bike crawl.
God, God, imagine trying to get up like a really steep hill on a fucking 7-foot tall penny farthing.
Yeah, I don't know if that's possible.
No, I don't think it's possible at all.
That would be tough, wouldn't it? Yeah.
But like, sort of weirdly, like, even though it was a penny farthing, it was not an old-fashioned penny farthing. It was a modern penny farthing, if such a thing exists.
Oh yeah, how much do they cost? Do you reckon?
I've no idea, but I thought that was very, very strange.
Oh my god, you can get one for £1,300.
That's certainly up in the running for the next hobby I'll be doing.
And the wheel is 54 inches.
Fuck, how tall is that in feet?
How many did I say? 54.
That's got to be 5 foot.
4.5.
4.5 feet.
So you're 54 inches tall.
Fuck off. Hilarious. So what else have I got up to? Actually, I think me and Laura reached a little milestone in our relationship because we've been together it'll be 9 years in November that we've been together, right? And
9 years since you broke a PE teacher's heart.
Yes, but let's not get into that. And I think that we reached a bit of a milestone, and I wonder whether you have ever reached this milestone as well. Laura was going for a shower, and I really, really needed a poo. And so I decided to go into the bathroom and like do my business while she was in the shower, which I personally didn't think there was anything wrong with that. But she was incredibly offended by this.
I think me and Sarge have done that before we started living together. Yeah.
Yes, before we even met, we just did that anyway.
Yeah. So before we started living together, we've done that. Definitely, I think at our parents' house. Yeah. I don't see a problem with it at all. You see some people talk about it.
I agree.
Like they don't even do it and they've been married for like decades. But I don't, if you both got to use the bathroom, you both got to use the bathroom. If she's sitting on the toilet and only I'm going to pee for her legs.
No,
that doesn't happen.
That's fine. Although sometimes Laura has been on the toilet and I'm desperate for a wee, and I'll be like, well, why don't I just go in the sink
in the garden
or the bath? Well, yes, but I've said, would you rather me go like in the sink or in the bath?
Yeah, I'd say
rather
bath.
than the garden. Because
do you wee when you shower?
Of course I do.
Yeah,
every man does.
Yeah. So you might as well do it in the shower then.
Yeah.
How often do you piss in the sink? Only when you need a wank. But
What? Fucking none of that made sense.
That's how it works, isn't it?
No, it does not. Oh. But no, like I get weird about people who are so offended by other people peeing in the shower because there's literally it's quite literally a victimless crime.
I reckon women do it as well.
Everyone does it because it all goes down to the same fucking drain.
Yeah,
it's not like you're pissing in the shower.
It's not like you're pissing. It's not like you're pissing into a Brita filter, is it? And then drinking it later on when it's cooled down.
No, I mean that is very specific. But yeah, no.
Try shitting one.
No. So just thinking what else.
If you piss in it, do you reckon it comes out as drinkable water?
First guess would be no.
Why?
I'd say that it would probably come out as slightly more filtered piss, but I wouldn't say it would be perfect drinking water.
How often do you have to put it through a Brita filter before you can drink your own piss?
That's a very good question.
Right, let me Google that as well whilst I've got you on there.
I'm not sure there'll be many answers on that.
If you Google "can you wee," the first one that comes up is "and poo" at the same time.
Why would you even have to consult Google to do that? Surely everyone already knows the answer to this. And the answer is yes.
Just try it. 91 to 96% of urine is water. So you wouldn't be turning it into water per se, but you'd be filtering out the contaminants such as... Can urine be filtered into drinking water? No. Oh.
Yeah, but you can just drink urine straight from the tap though, can't you?
The dissolved salts, ions and molecules like urea, I don't know what that is, that are present in urine are too small for backpacking filters and even purifiers to remove. Is peeing in the shower healthy? The truth is that while urine isn't as clean as pure as some people think, most of the time it's not going to cause health problems if you occasionally opt for the shower drain instead of the toilet bowl. Well, surely it's still okay if you're washing because then it goes down the drain with the running water.
I will go on record saying there's absolutely no hygiene issue with having a pee while you're in the shower. Sometimes, right, if fucking Laura's in the shower, I'll just pee behind the shower curtain just for a laugh.
If you're that...
True story.
If
Anyway,
you're that worried about it, just Mr. Mustard it after you're done.
how thick would your urine have to be that you'd have to get a proper drain cleaner, Mr. Muscle, to do it? You'd have to be pissing like fucking slime. Anyway,
diarrhea in it.
Anyway, moving on.
Really bad. Oh, no, we're not moving on. Not yet. I've got other questions for you. If you had a really watery, runny diarrhea poo, and you're in the shower, would you risk a fart?
I'd probably go for a poo before I went in the shower.
Well, say you did, but because you're a little bit poorly, as soon as you're in the shower, you need to go again. And you know if you fart, it might be dangerous, but it might come out as watery poo, which would then obviously go down the drain.
I probably wouldn't risk it. You know, if it was like a small fart, possibly, but I wouldn't be risking a proper thunderous flatulence. I'd
squat just in case water came out my bumhole.
Okay, please can we move on?
Yeah.
You know what I tried to do the other day, and I'm quite ashamed.
Murder a family of 4.
Oh no.
Use a telescope.
That was a week before. I mean, like this week. You know what I tried to do, and to my genuine shame, I couldn't do it. I tried to do a COVID test. Have you had a COVID test?
I haven't. No.
Right. Now, you know that involves sticking a cotton bud up your nose, yeah?
Yeah, and
it does,
then
right?
on the back of your throat and then up your nose.
Well, if you do it in a hospital, then it's the back of the throat thing and up the nose. However, for the home tests, it's just an up the nose thing. Now, just thinking, if you have to put a cotton bud up your nose, that doesn't seem too bad. Do you know how far they go up your nose? They go right to the back of your nostril. And I said to Laura, she gets free COVID tests because she works in the hospital, and she has to do like one twice a week. However, sometimes she'll do it and it'll come back as an unconfirmed test or whatever. She can write it off. So she said, "Oh, would you like to have a COVID test?" So I was like, "Okay, yeah, fine, I'll do it." You know that my genuine Achilles heel is? I am incredibly ticklish.
No.
I am fucking horrific.
Well, you got that, and you got your like vertical, horizontal. Anyway, it's horizontal claustrophobia.
But I am incredible.
I'm going to tickle you under the bed covers next time I see you.
If you do that, I'll actually fucking bite your neck out. I will tear your fucking throat out with my teeth. Anyway, so I said, okay, fine, you know, I'll do this COVID test, no problem. And then when she went to do it, and she literally had barely got the cotton bud an inch up my nose, well, fucking less than that, half an inch up my nose, I was like, no. This is too crazy. This is too far for me, unfortunately. And then I tried to do it myself. I tried it 3 or 4 times. I can't do it.
No,
genuinely.
You know when I had that operation. They put a camera up my nose, and it went all the way back down to the back of my throat. So I felt that. And that was like, that was awful. That was up here, back down, and then looking. Yeah, that was rank. That was awful.
I couldn't do that.
No, it was tough. I haven't done a COVID test. I haven't had the need to. But Cassandra does them weekly as well. She does 2 a week because she works in a school. But yeah, I'm not doing one. So not yet. Anyway, I haven't had any symptoms ever. So.
Yeah, so I just hope that I don't actually get symptoms and have to go to the hospital, because when they do it, they are fucking ruthless apparently, and they shove this cotton bud up your fucking nose and rub it around, and so. Have
you heard about the one in China? It's now an anal test. It's an anal swab.
I think I'd prefer that.
Yeah, of course you would.
No, I mean
you
genuinely.
Not put gloves on.
Use your fist.
Then ask them to do it clockwise 3 times.
At least your anus is a wider passage in your nostril.
Yeah.
So, so it's like sort of sticking like a thin cotton bud up there is much for a muchness, but doing it up to your nostril.
As far as I'm aware, it's not as ticklish as well. Up your bum.
Exactly. But yeah,
you could tell me otherwise.
But honestly, it's to my genuine shame that I couldn't do it. And Laura has to do that twice a week, as does everyone who works with children or in the hospital and stuff. And I couldn't do it. And Laura found this hilarious. She found it hilarious that, someone
as tall as a penny farthing just couldn't do it.
Someone like me, who does the gym, can lift big weights, but they couldn't shove a cotton bud very far up their nose.
No, it doesn't shock me, to be fair. You are a bit of a pansy.
I wouldn't say I'm a pansy, Jason. Except in this case, all right? In this case, I'm an absolute pansy. But in most other cases...
You've got a leg to stand on. Yeah. So did you get the results back?
No, because I couldn't do the test, could I?
You didn't even send it off?
No, she doesn't send it off. She's got a home test kit where she has to put it up her nose and then she
gives you the results in half an hour, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Which for me, I didn't even get any fucking results.
I hope you've got it anyway.
Feel fine. Anyway, we're going to end the show on that note.
On that note, Ben has COVID. We'll never see him again.
I've already had
next
COVID,
week
probably.
when I find a new co-host as I get promoted to senior host. Who
so you're saying that I'm senior host now, yeah?
Yeah, of course you are. You do all the hard work.
Very true.
Who would I like to replace you with?
And on that note, we're going to say goodbye to everyone. So we'll say thank you very much for listening, and stay safe.
Ben, bring back Laura.
Wear a mask. Follow your local COVID guidelines, and hopefully in the near future. We can go to the pub.
And then we're going to go to the pub and I'm going to tickle you.
You tickle me, I will fucking kill you. That's a promise. I'll put that in the show. Alright guys, bye. So Jason, where can you get more Sweet Connection in your life?
Well Ben, we are on Facebook at Sweet Connection Podcast, and we're also on Twitter at SweetC_podcast, so you can give us a like or a follow.
And you can also find us on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube and Podbean, so if you enjoyed the show you can give us a rating or a review or recommend to a friend.
And if you wanted to email in a topic or a question or just say hi, it's thesweetconnection@outlook.com.
Massive thanks to CIPP and Carlyle Laurent for all of our jingles. Thank you for listening and catch you next time.
Connection.